This is the multiplying rational expressions assignment. It is in your work standards assignments module, and I'll be going through a few of these. And remember that this counts as part of the grade in that standard, along with these other assignments that you see that you should have either turned in by now or maybe you still are working on them by now. So multiplying rational expressions, the idea is that you're going to try to cancel, let me start again, you're going to try to factor if you can factor. So you're looking for a possible quadratic or maybe even a cubic that you can factor. And after that, you're looking to cancel any like factors on the top and bottom. And then you're looking to maybe use your fraction entry tool to simplify fractions as the product of numerators over the product of denominators as the last part of the problem. So problem 2, and I'll go around and do many of these, you have 53 times 46 over 43 times 31. So hopefully you have a calculator with a fraction entry tool that will allow you to do this. If not, you're going to have to find one online. But we do need to reduce these numbers, and I'll show this one time, and then I think after this, I'm just going to say the reduction of 79 times 85 over 25 times 27 is so-and-so. Okay, so alpha y equals on this. Again, you can probably type in to probably like an internet search bar this that you see what I'm doing here, and it will deliver to you either the decimal expansion or the fraction. You should try it. The internet is very powerful. And then n squared in the top. So 2438 n squared, that doesn't reduce with anything, over 1333. Let me get my answer key out here so I can monitor myself as I go. So problem 2, same idea. The n will cancel with the n squared. So you take the difference in the exponents of like letters, I guess, like bases, and then you put that difference where the larger one is. So there will be an n to the first in the bottom of this. And then the reduction of 79 times 85 over 25 times 27 is 1343 over 135, and then we have an n to the first. So if that was the other way around, the n squared is in the numerator and the n's in the denominator, then it's an n to the first sitting in the numerator. So number 6, same thing. You are looking to simplify 84 times 48 over 3 times 95. So 1344, and then just the x, that doesn't simplify with anything, over 3 times 95. Simplified will be just a 95. So there's some obvious canceling in there. The 3 would go into the 48 16 times, and then 84 times 16 is 1344. Okay, moving to problems that have a factorization. So here they've done the factoring for you, and what you want to do is go through and start canceling like factors. And I want to say this, you cannot cancel part of a factor. So here you see where I canceled those 4s. That's illegal. That's a no, because the n plus 4 is a whole factor, and that needs to cancel with another whole n plus 4. So make sure that you're not canceling a part of a factor. So now we're good. The 7 doesn't, there's nothing to do there. The n squared stands by itself. There's no other n's in the bottom. And the n plus 8 and the n plus 6 stand by itself. So 7n squared over n plus 8 times n plus 6. Okay, problem 10, the factoring is also done for you, and we can actually cancel some numbers here. That's pretty easy to see, and the r plus 4s will also drop. So we're left with a 9r, forget that r there, over r minus 5. 12 is also factored, so life is good when the problem is factored for you. Okay, so p plus 6, that's all the factoring that will happen on this, over p minus 4 times p minus 2. And problem 14 is the first problem where there is factoring to do. And I will, just as a reminder, show you, if you forget that factors are related to the zeros of the polynomial. Even this linear one here, you can say, yeah, there's a common factor of 3. I can see that. You can still run it through a zero finder, and it would actually give you 8/3. And then just remember that the factor or the zero of 8/3 writes as a factor 3n minus 8. Okay, and same thing here on this cubic down here. You actually get 8/3 and 2 and 0 and 0. These are your 3 zeros that you would get. So that's n times 3n minus 8. And then you need a common factor of 8 because that n times 3n is only 3n to the third. And you have 24n to the third. So just as a quick reminder on your calculator, okay, so under your apps, this Polysimul2 is a zero finder, root finder. So we got to go 3 because it's a cubic. And you're going to have to do a fair number of these on this assignment, -64 and then 2 zeros. So there you'll see the 0, 0, and the 8/3. And then you write n times 3n minus 8, and then adjust with the common factor of 8 so that the multiplying works out correctly. Now it's time to cancel after that. So you see those 7 n's will drop. So we're left with 3 over 8n squared as our final answer. And as you move along through this, so I have pre-done the factoring here, so I'm not so long in the video. Same idea on your zero finder. You're going to have to adjust with common factors often in this assignment. So there's an adjustment with 16 here. There's adjustment with 20 here. So this would deliver 0, 0, and 5 for the roots. This would deliver 0 and 5. And then you would write the a times a minus 5. And then the a times a minus 5 on the top and adjust with the common factor. There's my little 10-minute advertising reminder. So now after all of that is done, you look to start canceling by factors. So the a minus 5s go away. The a minus 1 is going to stay there, the bottom there. And then the 20 over 16, let's see, 10 over 8, 5 over 4. We have a 5 and a 4 for sure. And then we have an a and an a squared here. So that a and a squared will leave an a on the bottom. And then times a minus 1. So this one's a little bit goofy. 5 in the top, maybe center that a little bit over 4a times a minus 1. So the a and the a squared. So you got to kind of just block this out when you do this. So the a and the a squared leaves the a in the bottom there. The 20 over 16 is the 5 over 4. The a minus 5s drop. 18, the factoring 7 times p plus 2. Now watch this. This is crazy. But you can do this. If you went order 1, you still, this will like do the common factoring. It's weird. So -2. So you got a p plus 2. Meaning that the common factor is 7 to make the... So the Polysimul2 will absolutely, positively help you to factor correctly as long as you apply the rule correctly. So p plus 7 over 7 times p minus 10. 20. So after the factoring, we cancel the two p plus 9's, and we have p minus 3 over p minus 9 left. And remember, you cannot cancel the p minus 3 is a whole factor, the p minus 9 is a whole factor. You cannot cancel parts of those. 22, after you factor, the r plus 10's go away, and so and the 5's also go away. You have r minus 2. 24, so here's the factoring. Again, you need to do that before you go any further. So x plus 4, and the x minus 9's go away, the x squareds go away. 45 over 3 leaves you 15. And then 26, we have r minus 6. Looks like the 9r's will drop, the 9r squareds will drop. So yeah, you can cross cancel. That will work all the time. So r plus 1 over, this should have been 5 here, sorry, over r plus 5, my bad. So that's an r plus 5. 9r times 5 is 45r. And then last one here, this is all the factoring again. And so m plus 1's will go away. N plus 9's go away. The 6's drop, and leave you n minus 3. So your assignment is to do the rest of these. Again, you'll have to factor out, these on the second page for sure, and do enough of these so that you know for sure what you're doing when it comes to multiplying rational expressions.